Hey, you no-good, grubby little leech. I want to know just how long you plan on surviving off of all my dad's hard work. Don't you realize we'd all be so much happier if you just got out of our lives? I haven't heard from you in so long, and this is the way you break the silence? I feel like you've been completely ignoring me around the house as well, you know. I really don't know what's gotten into you, but I'm starting to get a bit sick of it. I mean, you're not even cooking the meals that I'm making for you anymore. And just who do you think you are talking to me as if you're my real mom, huh? You really need to remember your place in this family, you parasite. I'm sorry that you don't like the way I worded things, but I don't see how anything I said was false. I don't care what's true and what's false. I just know that I want you out of our lives. I really don't understand. Why are you coming to me and saying all of this all of a sudden? It's not so sudden for me. I know that my dad and I are going to be just fine on our own. We don't need some outsider leeching off of my family's wealth anymore. I'm sorry you feel this way about me, but maybe you should talk about these feelings with your father first. Then maybe we could all talk about this together with each other. Maybe your dad would even agree to move out and take you somewhere. And just why would my dad have to do something like that, huh? It's his house. If anyone should have to leave, it should be you. I really think that you should talk to your father about this before we carry on with this talk. Besides, I make $100,000 a year. What am I leeching off of anyone? I think you just want me out of the house is all. But what I don't get is what you think you're going to gain by doing so. What am I going to gain? Well, that should be obvious. I'll finally be ridding my family of a disgusting parasite that's been living off of us for years. Even Dad is getting sick of having you around. He's always talking about how he has to work all day, but you always spend all of his money. Meanwhile, you hardly leave anything for him to spend on himself. Did your dad really say that? Even about him having to work every day? Well, it's true, isn't it? You're always coming and going to and from the house whenever you want, but Dad only ever goes to work and comes home, and that's all he has time for. And it's all your fault. You keep a short leash and don't let him live his life the way he wants. I hate what you're doing to him. Tina, I really think that you need to get a grip and reassess the situation. And I don't say that for my sake, but for yours, okay? Just what do you know, huh? Don't pretend as if you know what I want. I know that you're a selfish woman who only ever does things for herself. That's why I want you out of our lives forever. I am trying to tell you that you're making a mistake here. You really need to go and talk to your dad about this. He can explain it all. Let me go and talk to him for a moment, and then I'll come back to you, okay? Can you please just give it a rest already with what you say to Tina?
What the heck are you talking about? I don't really care, but can you lend me some money? I'm almost through my budget for the month, and I need more. Come on. You know that you don't give me enough anyways. Just give me a little more.
You want even more money? What happened to all that I gave you already? How did you spend it all so quickly? Anyways, we're going to be talking about money after I say what I came here to say. You need to have a real conversation with your daughter and tell her the truth about what's going on. The more you put that off, the worse my relationship gets with her. I am tired of her talking down to me, insulting me, and treating me like an idiot because of you, Todd. I am seriously starting to reach my limit. Do you understand me?
I don't know what you want me to do. She's your daughter now, too, you know. Go be a good mom and learn how to control your children better.
Control her? Todd, she's already 17 years old. This isn't about controlling her. It's about giving her the information she needs to make her own decisions about life. You have to stop lying to her and telling her false information. She blames me for every single problem we have. It isn't fair that I should be the one taking all of the heat because you don't want to step up and tell her the truth. All of this would be solved if you weren't such a coward.
I will talk to Tina about my life when I'm good and ready to. okay?
No, not when you're ready to. Now. You've been saying, when I'm ready, for years now. Don't you realize how this is affecting us as a whole family?
Yeah, of course. I know all that. And if you just give me a little more money, I'll really think about saying something. I promise. Now come on. I'm seriously down to my last few dollars. You've got to give me something.
You really are just the worst. Do you realize that, Todd? Hey there, Anna. I see that you've left for the day. You know that you don't need to bother coming back home ever, right? And just what is that supposed to mean? And since when did you start calling me by my first name? I mean that if you're already out of the house, you should stay out. All you do is make things worse, so just keep away. If you have something you want to say to me, why don't you just come out and say it? Well, I actually sent off the divorce papers for you and Dad. That means that you and him don't need to live together anymore. Dad and I are going to live together, and you'll have to go and figure out your own life. So you really did send the divorce papers for your father and I? And just how did you manage to get away with doing something like that? Well, you probably had no idea about this, but Dad had already printed out the divorce papers and kept them in his desk. I happened to see where he put them one day when he tried to hide them from me, and so I dug them out while he was away. I saw that he had already signed his name all where it needed to be. I really do need to thank Dad for being so prepared. So then you sent out divorce papers that your dad had already signed without telling either of us? I have to say that I am shocked at you. And since you don't even have a job, you probably won't be able to find a place to live now, too. I warned you that you should do a little more research into this before acting, but are you sure you really want me out of the house? Of course I am! This is what I've been waiting for forever! I feel like I'm having a dream come true! I'm finally getting to squash the horrible leech that's been on the side of my family for years. I feel at ease. It's like a great burden has been lifted off of our shoulders and the sun has come out after a rainy day. Just the thought of you being cold and homeless on the street is bringing me so much joy! Well, if this is what you really want, good luck, I guess. The one who's going to need luck is you! Whatever you say. I guess I'll take my leave from the house then. But I just have one last thing that I think you should know before I leave. And what last pathetic words do you have to say to me? I'm not the one who doesn't have a job. That would be your father. Wait, what is that supposed to mean? I mean that you said your father told you that he goes to work every day. That's a lie. All he does is spend his days at the casino wasting our money. Wait a second, you expect me to believe that? That's just ridiculous. Why would Dad lie to me about working? And why would he be spending all day gambling? I suppose this really is the first you're hearing about all of this then. But it's true. I'm afraid that everything your father said about me was just to protect his own reputation in your eyes, Tina. I don't get what you mean. This doesn't make any sense. Why would he need to worry about his reputation with me? I don't know. You should ask what he would have to gain by belittling me in front of you like he has been. He wanted you to take his side in everything. And you fell for it like a sucker. You defended him no matter what I tried to say, and you believed every lie he told you about me. No, this doesn't make any sense. You better start explaining yourself right this moment. In that case, one other thing you should know is that no matter how much your father put me down, he never wanted to throw me out of the house. And yet little did he know that he was pushing you to do just that to me with all of his lies about me being jobless. No, this can't be right. You're just trying to lie to me because you realize that you're getting kicked out. Well, I'm not listening. You're just some crazy old jealous loser. You can believe me or not. It won't really make any difference. But the truth is that I was giving your father money every month. He hasn't made his money in a long time, and yet you listened to everything he had to say about me. You really don't know when to stop all this, do you? I already said that I'm not listening to a word that you have to say anymore. Again, you are more than welcome to ignore all that I'm saying. But quite frankly, I've had enough of you two as well. But soon you'll be an adult, and you'll have to take responsibility for taking care of yourself. And then you'll have to choose whether to keep living with your father or go out on your own. I've actually learned how to take care of myself for a while now. We don't need you in our life anymore, so just beat it. Well, okay. But you do realize that if I leave, that means I won't be supporting you or your father anymore, right? There you go again, making up more lies. What support have you ever given? You really think that I'm going to fall for that? You act like you've given Dad and I everything when all you've done is taken. I know you're lying, so just stop it already. I'm not trying to upset you, Tina. I really am just trying to warn you. I just hope you don't regret what you're doing. Just shut up already, you old hag! Don't pretend like you're all that when you're really nothing! I never, ever want to see you again. You were never my mother, and I'm glad you're gone. Don't ever think of me as your daughter again. As of today, you're nothing to me. We are complete strangers. Okay then, I understand. I am not your mother, and you are not my daughter. Now, please don't come to me for anything else. Hey! Pick up the phone when I'm calling you, you stupid old witch! Can't you tell that your daughter is panicked? I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of work right now. Besides, I thought that you said you were going to stop calling me. But you were telling the truth about everything! I know that. What of it? Well, so now I finally know that you were! Please, you have to come back home to us! Dad is so mad all the time. I need your help! I really have no idea what you're talking about. Besides, I don't even have a daughter. What do you mean? How can you say that? I didn't. You did. You told me to never think of you as my daughter again. So I'm sorry that you're having a rough time right now, lady, but that doesn't have anything to do with me. Anyways, goodbye. Hold on a second! Is this supposed to be some kind of joke? I'm your daughter! You can't just walk away from me! I'm sorry, but I've already told you that I don't have a daughter. We're just strangers to each other, remember? Wait, no, you're not really going to abandon me, are you? I didn't know Dad doesn't make any more. And he's so mad at me for sending the divorce papers. He's so scary and angry all the time now. I don't understand what happened. So I guess you finally understand the kind of man your father is now. What do you mean by that? I mean that I was always trying to protect you from him, but maybe that was my mistake. Because he took advantage of that and lied to you about me instead. But I had no idea he was that kind of person. I thought that my dad was kind and sweet, and what should I do now? He doesn't have money, he doesn't work, he doesn't do anything but gamble and drink. I suppose you'd better find a job and start working then. But I'm still in high school. I could only work a part-time job at best, and I have no idea how I'm supposed to go to college at this rate. Yeah, and to think you wouldn't have had to take out any loans if I was still around. What do you mean? You're not going to send me to college either? Well, I had a whole college fund saved up for my daughter, but since we're no longer family, I'm afraid that I can't pass that on to you. So I'm afraid the only option left for you now is to work for your money. Mom, please, you have to help me! Please don't call me Mom. I already told you that I don't have any children. You and I are nothing to each other now, and I owe you nothing. You wanted it this way despite my attempts to warn you, and now you need to take responsibility. You're almost 18, so consider this your first real life lesson. But I had no idea that Dad was lying to me! This isn't fair! How was I supposed to know that you were making all the money in our house? I tried to tell you the truth over and over again, but you just refused to listen to me. Well, then can I at least come and live with you? I hate living with Dad. He's so scary all the time. I'm so sorry for everything that I said to you. I'm afraid that I have a policy against letting strangers stay in my house. Besides, how do I know that you won't just fall into your old ways of looking down on me and insulting me all the time? But I need your help! I don't know what else to do! Well then, take your first step as an adult and figure out what to do. Good luck, stranger! In the end, Tina realized that I was only ever trying to tell her the truth, and that it was her father who was lying to her this whole time. It was quite a shock for her to realize this, and she fell into a deep depression afterwards. Shocked by learning about her father's true nature and forced to start working to take care of herself, Tina ended up dropping out of high school and working to sustain herself and her father. She tried to message me asking for help, but I had already blocked her on everything by then. I do plan on stepping in to help her eventually, but if I'm going to pour all my money and heart into raising her, I think Tina needs to learn some lessons about the real world before I put her back on track.
Brooke, you're not seriously still working, are you? Why don't you do the responsible thing here for once and quit your job? Then I can finally get some grandchildren out of you and my son. Would you hurry up, because I want some grandchildren before I eventually die. Along with my Peter, you need to contribute to the housework. Again, with this conversation, Sandra, you know that I have nothing to say on the matter. I don't plan on quitting my job anytime soon, so I'm sorry if that doesn't fit into your way of living. There's nothing wrong with me having a career. Now hold on just a minute there, Brooke. Do you really think this is the end of it for me? I'm sorry, what are you trying to say here? I'm making such an effort to contact you, and you're just going to let it all go and not hear me out? Do you have any sort of common sense in that brain of yours? I guess you don't, since you're always out of the house working in the first place despite being a wife to my son. This makes me completely doubt your humanity and what you should be doing for the family, which is making one. Seriously, Sandra, don't you think that you're being too old-fashioned? Whatever do you mean by that? In this day and age, it's a very normal thing for both the husband and wife to be working and sharing the housework. The things we do in this house are a little bit more unique, but if you're going to keep judging us for it, then can you just stay out of our way? We are working hard and earning money, so please don't complain about our situation. You can't say things like that to me. I'm your mother-in-law, and my opinion matters when it comes to this family. You really do have a limit to your common sense. Surely I can get rid of you just like that if you intend on speaking to me like you have, right? Please don't threaten me with those strange and scary comments. It's not going to do anyone any good. What do you even mean by getting rid of me? I mean that we don't need you in this family, and I can throw you out like garbage. Are you a non-burnable piece of waste, or would you prefer being burnt to a crisp? No. Would you quit it with your horrible jokes? They're not funny, and frankly, a crazy thing to say, Sandra. Can you blame me? You make me so angry. You'd be angry too if your darling son had a wife who was literally trash. You'll understand how I feel when you have your own children. Oh, really? Is that so? Even though I've married your son and would want to have children someday, you still won't keep your nose out of our business? I just want to live a quiet life, Sandra. What's that supposed to mean? It means what I say it means. I think it's a statement you don't need to read into very hard to understand. I'm going to leave the conversation at that, and if you want to voice your opinion, then please talk to your son about it. Since anything I try to say is just going to cause more trouble than it's worth. Isn't my son so tired from all the work he's doing? Have you given that any consideration at all? His work is not as strenuous as mine, so he's not as tired as I am. You seriously have a problem with not listening to what people are saying, don't you? I can't deal with this crap right now. I'm so angry. Would you please think about what I said for a bit and put it into action? Okay, Sandra, I understand your request, but if there's anything else, please take it up with your son. On that note, I'll leave you to it. Why have you not properly explained to your mother about our situation yet?
Brooke? What about?
I'm talking about our jobs, Peter. She's still indicating to me that she doesn't understand that we're both working. How much more can I explain what it is to her, and what would you be if I didn't work? You know that we wouldn't be able to live if I didn't work, right?
Brooke, can you be quiet for a second, please? There's no need to go out of your way to explain all that with my mother, okay? We're a happy married couple.
Happy? Ha ha. Is that some sort of a joke? I think I feel more stressed out than anything. If you can't earn your own money, then why don't you just do housework?
Is it okay for you to say that to me?
Huh? What do you mean? If I didn't tell you, who do I tell it to? Ha ha. I'm talking to you because it's about you, Peter.
Yeah, I'm your husband after all. If you say that sort of thing to me, wouldn't that hurt my mother's feelings?
Well, can you please try to understand the situation you're in and think about what you should do in a calm manner? I can no longer go along with this charade anymore, so please solve this dilemma immediately.
Okay, could you at least make dinner? It would really help since I've been trying to eat at home more these days than at the office.
I usually do make dinner when I finish work early. Isn't it a normal thing to make dinner for yourself if you're going to be late? Or rather, I make my part of the meal. You do realize you're not doing anything else right now?
Are you asking them to make it then? Are you serious?
Can you please try and make food tomorrow? You've been giving a lot of unnecessary stress over this. Is it okay if you could do that much at least, please?
Alright. It's just such a hassle, though. I'll do it this one time, since all of this can't be helped at the present. This time is an exception.
What are you even saying? Also, go to the unemployment office, too. Have you both decided when you're getting a divorce? Excuse me? What's brought this on all of a sudden? You made my son the breadwinner, and you're making him do the housework as well? You know for a long time I haven't liked you at all. But knowing what you were like with my son, I absolutely loathe you. Okay, I'm confused. What has housework got to do with you loathing me? What are you so mad about, Sandra? Look, I've decided that you need to get a divorce from each other. If you don't mind getting out of our lives now, that would be great. It's only natural to find a man and get married, I understand that, but you lack so much common sense, it's not even funny. What game are you playing here, Brooke? Sandra, do you really think forcing your old school ideas onto me is going to work? By housework, do you mean tonight's dinner? Yes, that's right. My son has a wife who can do that now. He shouldn't have to. Don't you realize that you're someone's wife now? Don't you have to do what you're meant to as a loyal wife? What the heck are you trying to say, Sandra? I'm obviously not getting through to you, so I filed the divorce papers myself. You can't be serious. Oh, I'm dead serious. I'm so glad that I was able to file them for you. I made a divorce paper up for you both when you got married in case there was a serious breakdown in the marriage. When I think of it, I thought there was something weird with our legal documents. You did this and kept it from us? Now you're nothing but strangers to one another. Oh, I'm so relieved. My son has gotten a divorce from his garbage of a wife. Is that all you have to say? I really didn't think that you would go that far. As you would expect, I am quite surprised. If you make my son do all the housework as an excuse for you both working, and so you don't have to, then you're not fit to be a wife. I feel so sorry for my son, but if he has a useless wife, then she should divorce him and leave. Oh, I see. You really are an expert. Oh, I am all right. I never want to see your face around these parts ever again. This has all been a complete misunderstanding on your part, and in turn made us get divorced. But of course, that's something you do, Sandra. I will no longer go against your expectations. Anything more you're wanting to say to me, Brooke? You've completely failed as a wife since you're making your own husband cook for you. You know you're doing me a disservice with blaming me for your prehistoric ideologies. I owe you my gratitude for divorcing me from your son. Well then, I will do as you wish and get a divorce, but I think that you'll regret doing this a lot. Regret it? I highly doubt it. It would be useless to have a wife like you around. When are you gonna erase yourself from our lives? Didn't I already tell you that it's okay? Your wish of me divorcing Peter has been granted, but can I just say one more thing? We worked well as a couple. Since Peter's father died, we've been thinking about how you would cope. We were planning on gifting you a 2-family-sized house. What? You were? Yes, but I can't help but tell you now what we wanted to do for you. It's no use now, even if you try to reconcile with me. We thought about you a lot, and we were going to put our plan into action. It ended up being a waste of time and effort, and now I am the only one who's working in the family, so... What the heck are you talking about, Brooke? I don't understand this at all. I said that I can't tell you, Sandra. It has to be Peter that tells you what's actually going on. What does he have to tell me? What happened? What have you done to my son? I didn't want to tell you since it's Peter's story, but he got made redundant about 6 months ago. What? He lost his job? Yep. And he's been unemployed ever since. If I were to quit my job like you told me to do, we couldn't afford the rent for our place. Hold up. So you're telling me that Peter has been unemployed for quite a while now? That's what I'm saying, Sandra. Aren't you paying attention? That's why I'm the one who's working all the time. Peter doesn't have a job and he hardly does any housework either, so I end up being super exhausted every day. I'm relieved that you filed a divorce for us. Thank you so much for that. What? You're thanking me? But... So I'll be leaving him then. However, the place we're in is a rental and I'm the one who parts out for the rent, so I think it would be impossible for Peter to continue living there without an income. I think you'll have to withdraw some money for him to live there, or he can go back to living with you, so you'll need to take care of him. This has got nothing to do with me anymore. Oh, wait, Brooke, let's talk about this in more detail, okay? What else is there to talk about? I'm already done with the talking and have nothing else to say. Do you have something to add? What's going on with the 2-family-sized house that you mentioned? What do you want to know about it? Well, you were building a 2-family house for us. Whatever will I do with it? Oh, no way, Sandra. We're divorced now, right? So, of course, we've decided to not go ahead with the 2-family house, all right? Excuse me? Why the heck not? Why would I, Sandra? Why would I build a house like that for my now ex-mother-in-law when we're divorced? Your son was more or less fired from his job because he couldn't work properly, so it seems like your son can't build the house after all. So there really is no 2-family house for me at all? You should have told me about the house before. I wouldn't have filed the divorce papers. At some point, I wanted to get a divorce as well, so there was no point telling you. I still had some feelings for him, but Peter didn't like that. I wasn't quite ready then, but I am now. You're the one that wanted a divorce, and not Peter? What is it that you're getting from the conversation that we've had so far, Sandra? I have been the one working hard and earning, and I'm done, so I wanted out of this marriage. But thanks to you, I was able to get a divorce, and I am so grateful for that. You'll end up taking care of your unemployed son who's returned home to you. Do your best, Sandra. Brooke, wait, but I don't have the 2-family-sized house. You're handing my son back to me? That's correct. I haven't heard of this from my son, though. Why would you do something like this? Shouldn't you have explained this to me properly beforehand? You need to be held accountable for all of this. How dare you not explain this to me, Brooke? I don't get what you're saying, Sandra. How many times do you think I told your son to tell you about what's going on? By the way, I'm the one that kept telling him to talk to his own mother. But the reason why I didn't do anything was because it was a problem between the two of you. Do you get what I'm saying? He didn't know how to even make food for dinner, so he must have asked you for help. He didn't help me at all. I was so frustrated just because of all those little things, and now I'm divorced. It seems like you were the one who had trouble letting us get divorced, didn't you? I had no clue about that, so I can't help what happened. Come on now, Brooke, that's enough of this nonsense. Let's not argue over all these strange things that have occurred. Why don't we just forget about this and you can make up with Peter? Please, have a long and happy life with him. I don't think we're on the same page, Sandra. I'm not happy anymore, so I prefer being divorced from him. Besides, I don't like having you for a crazy mother-in-law. You were the one that made us get divorced without our permission, remember? I'll call the courthouse and get it removed. Everything will be just fine. Just get back with my son, please. Let me tell you, Sandra, I have no intention of fixing this. Even if you try to rip up the divorce papers, I will get a lawyer and a divorce will be finalized. You're going to go to that extreme? There's no need for you to do that. Thanks to you, Sandra, I finally realized that I wanted a divorce this whole time. I'm tired of dealing with scumbags and miserable old hags in my life. What? Who are you talking about? Oh, forget it. It doesn't matter anymore. Well, not to me anyways. And with that, I bid you farewell, Sandra. Good luck living with your downright poor son. You're gonna need it. Enjoy your lives together. In the end, it was Sandra who was the cause of Brooke and Peter getting a divorce. Peter resents his mother for finalizing his divorce from his wife. Despite being unemployed and having a bossy attitude, he lives at his mother's house. Because of Sandra, he was divorced. It seems like Peter told his mother to work since none of them had a job. Sandra had no choice but to earn a living so she could pay for her son. It seems that she will face the worst of old age since she has the added stress of working. It seems that for the time being, they can't see a bright future ahead of them.